Well, the festive season is knocking on our doors, and once again, it's time for families and loved ones to enjoy the beachfronts across our coastlines. For eThekwini, which attracts locals and throngs of visitors from across the country in the season, one of the main challenges has been that of making sure beaches are clean and safe and secure. Well, the municipality said a few weeks ago that Durban City is expecting about 1.3 million visitors over the upcoming summer holiday period, and has quelled fears about water quality at several of its popular beaches. Well, Dr. Desmond, who is the office coordinator from the South Durban Community Environmental Alliance, joins us now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on Late Edition.
Good evening, and good evening to the listeners.
Can you confirm that the beaches are safe and that the water is all right for holidaygoers to swim in?
Well, you know, we monitor all the beaches, including the estuaries. So all the rivers, canals, and all the beaches in Durban are monitored by us, and we take water samples. I must just say that today I was monitoring the beaches as usual, even when it rains, because we are concerned about the contamination. The water is off color in some of the beaches, especially on the south. So, you know, we drive around, we take water samples, and we find that the water quality is very poor. We are now analyzing it, and we'll send it off to the laboratory early in the morning, where they can analyze it as well. So there are dual samples that we take. One is that we take it with the equipment that we have, and one is we send it to a accredited laboratory. Our concern arises from the people that use the beach, traditional healers as well as the bathers that come down. And unaware to them, they go in and swim and think, wow, you know, the water's of a quality, especially Durban. Not so. We know that a number of the infrastructures in Durban, in particular, sanitation, has collapsed. Quite a lot of that has collapsed, and we're finding that they are not being maintained. So when that collapses, it has to go somewhere. And the only place it ends up with is on Durban's beachfront or all along the coastline. So that's the problem that we're experiencing. We do bring it to the attention of the city. We are prepared to share the results that we are taking the water samples with them so that they have an idea of what is in the water currently. But I think the problem lies with the cooperation of the city on its own.
What are some of the challenges that the municipality is facing?
Well, look, infrastructure is collapsing. You know, earlier on we were talking about water, and the water is not available and people are damaging it. That's not true. You have the water pipes, the pressure is so high that they, even when they maintain it and reconnect the water, but because the pressure is so high, it bursts somewhere else. So throughout the area, you will find that burst water pipes are a regular occurrence. It's a lack of maintenance, and I think it's a lack of qualified people doing the work.
I want to touch on a rather unsavory topic, unfortunately, but I want to talk about beachgoers who don't go to the toilet, proper toilets. Instead, they relieve themselves on the beaches and perhaps in the ocean. How bad is that for the environment, especially at this time of the year where there are so many people going to those beaches?
Part of the problem is that the infrastructure can't cope with the influx of people from all over the country and all over the world that come here. The infrastructure has very few toilets on the beachfront. They should have, they should know that if the more people that come to Durban, the more toilets are required. And so what happens, people go and use the beach as an outlet because of that. The other thing that is the services that are provided on Durban's beachfront do not bring in the required number of people that will use it. So you need to have more services on the beachfront. They need to build in more sanitation and water resources so that people can use it. The ocean has become the dumping ground, not only for sewage, from all the infrastructure projects that are collapsing, but also from the chemical and illegal dumping of chemicals into the ocean.
Do you think that there will be enough law enforcement officers deployed to those areas over the festive season? You know, there are always complaints about adults drinking alcohol, maybe sometimes kids as well, in the same areas as kids are playing or enjoying themselves on the beach. And law enforcement, I believe, would be responsible to really clamp down. But are there enough officers, and is the law enforcement strong enough to deal with these issues?
I think that they need to beef up the law enforcement and provide the necessary resources for them to deal with the problem of alcohol abuse that's currently taking place. So beefing up the law enforcement with all the necessary resources will help, will go a long way to dealing with the alcohol problem. But I think when it comes to the sewage and chemicals, I think we need trained officers, trained people that are trained to detect the sewage and detect the chemicals that are dumped into the water, and then can trace it to where it comes from. But if we don't have that trained people that are trained to do the work, then it's not going to help. You know, you can find out that the ocean is a dumping ground, and you can smell it, but if you don't have the right people that are trained in that field to do something about it and to find the culprits that are doing it, then it's not going to help us. So again, it's about manpower, it's about people being trained for the job, it's about providing the law enforcement in Durban the equipment and the resources so that they can carry out their job, their work.
Thanks so much for chatting to us this evening. That was Dr. Desmond, who is the Office Coordinator from the South Durban Community Environmental Alliance, who is very much active when it comes to environmental issues.